Hey, you're listening to The Social Outcast with Jazz V. Taylor. And our first point, we're going to jump right into it. The coronavirus COVID-19. Now, this is May 31st, 2020 at 2:45 p.m. Central Time. I am recording this. So this is my experience, my feedback on this, and currently how this is all going from my perspective. But you can comment and give your opinion on our Facebook page, and we do have other social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram. YouTube channel will be coming up. I want to do that when we have at least 3 episodes already uploaded and published. With coronavirus, I acted nonchalant when this broke out. The way my paranoia is set up, I cannot be hysterical or Googling the news, photos, and theories that could be the truth. I cannot put all of that on my mind. The way my mental is set up, I cannot hold all of that. I cannot think about all of that. I think constantly. I have not been checked for anxiety. That's an anxiety of itself. So I just cannot just be crazy. But I am taking it serious. I'm not saying people that are doing all of this research are crazy. I'm just saying with me personally, I cannot be doing all of that. So that's why I've been nonchalant. I have been social distancing. I am a homebody. I'm an ambivert. So it's natural for me to just be social distance from everyone. I have personally been going through some things spiritually. I've been going through some things spiritually. That being said, I haven't tried to meet up with anyone. I have been going to grocery stores. I live in a full home. It's 4 people, including myself. So it's 4 people in my house, and half of those people are boys. And boys like to eat a lot. One's an athlete. Yeah, but I think today I'm gonna go out and get some food. And I guess, do I think times will get better when focusing only on COVID-19? Yes. I think things will get better. I say this because if we can get through influenza, the flu outbreak, we can get through this. Aren't they like cousins? Plus, this is 2020, and the time now with 2020 are especially different from then. We have better protocols and guidelines, better sanitation. Now, I have not felt like I've had any symptoms. I haven't felt like that. I do have allergies. That's hereditary. I have sinuses problems. I got that checked in February because I kept having nosebleeds, and in the end it was just my sinuses trying to flush themselves out and stuff like that. I'm a female. My wisdom teeth are late bloomers, which means headaches can be the effect of so many factors. It's you never know. It's hard. The symptoms are common besides those symptoms, which actually end up killing people. That's why there's death rates in that. But I do feel like we have better protocols and guidelines now, so I do feel like times will get better with corona right now. The reality is we would have to go back out there, and this is not going away. In the beginning of all this, during quarantine, they said stay home so corona can go away. Constantly, I was on Twitter, I was on Facebook, I was saying it's not going to up and evaporate in the air. The flu is still here. They're related. Corona's a strand from the flu. It has its own strand now. If that's wrong, please correct me. I can easily Google it after this, but they are related. The symptoms are similar. People had these symptoms not too long ago in November, December. They had flu-like symptoms. The doctors didn't know what was going on. We probably had corona before we even knew about corona. So yeah, but that's another topic later on. But the reality is, it's not going anywhere. We do have to go back out there. They did it during the influenza outbreak. They did it. And the flu is still here. We still have flu season. The flu season is only the peak of the flu at its highest rate. That is why it's called flu season. People still have the flu year round. People still have the flu year round. The flu season is only when there's multiple people with that case, or there's a higher percentage of people getting the flu during this time. So I do feel like corona will still be out there. We would have corona season. We're gonna have some corona seasons now, just like we have the flu season. Like in the winter, it's common for people to get colds during the winter. We gotta get back out there. Now, media misinformation is so nerve-wracking. They say it was an outbreak in November in China, an outbreak in the lab. That's what they told us in the US, that it was an outbreak in the lab during November. Yet nobody huge informed us in the US, and if they did, nobody cared, nobody shared. And I'm saying this because things trend fast. Things trend fast in the US. And if that was important, that would have been trending. But it was not. There are people coming out on Facebook saying they had flu-like symptoms around November and December. It is possible they could have had it undetected in the US this whole time. People came in and out of the US until March on planes, etc. In and out of the US until March. That was the start of quarantine. I believe the first week or two before spring break of 2020 was when it was national news, and also a case here. The first case was before spring break in the US, and it spread fast. It did. And then a week later after spring break, that week upcoming after spring break actually is when quarantine started. That's when all the universities shut down first. And then that's when the high schools, elementaries, and younger school grades, they started to shut down as well. There has been information presented over time from when quarantine started till now, May 31st, saying that corona has been here since 2015 in China. There has been like 2 or 3 outbreaks. If not, please correct me. I can Google it after I get done recording this though. Furthermore though, hospitals label every death COVID-19. Every death is labeled this. There's been multiple posts on this. I've got into a conversation with someone defending this. So many posts and people coming out saying they were being diagnosed without being tested, while actual deaths that have nothing to do with corona are being labeled as COVID-19. A defense statement was that it's too many bodies, that if you're not in the medical field, you won't understand why they're labeling every death as COVID-19. They're saying it's too many bodies, the hospitals are constantly busy, but last time I checked, the hospitals are expecting your immune system to fight it off. They cannot do anything but help your symptoms, lower your symptoms. That's build up your immune system. That's it. There is nothing else they can do. Recently, there has been a vaccine test here. I believe it was in California or Seattle. I believe Seattle. And then the whole conversation about in Africa, hopefully that did not happen. It should be voluntary. You shouldn't just go up to Africa and be like, here you go, give me your arm. No. Voluntary, like it was in Seattle. I believe it was Seattle. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I don't understand. You can't make me understand that. I know this is a place where all perspectives and opinions can be, but I just don't understand that. And that's just the end of that. We can agree to disagree. But if you would like to voice your opinions on that, like I said, we have a Facebook, the Social Outcast podcast is available along with other social media platforms. Please tell me your viewpoints on that. I would love to hear them. But is uplifting quarantine a good idea? Well, in the beginning, many things were affected by quarantine. For instance, schools for the most, then places of employment were affected. With universities, I feel many international students became homeless or frightened with being incapable of paying for the rest of the school year. More so, not being able to fly back home. Along with schools, people were told not to fly. Nobody was allowed in, nobody was allowed out. That's what we were told. It was in the article. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because there are flights that have decreased in price and so many people are still flying. If not, please correct me, because my Facebook page is full of locals, okay? And they be joking. You never know who's serious, who's not. Please correct me. I'm not basing that opinion off of only Facebook. I do read articles and their date. Some people fail to read the dates on articles. Others came out with the notion to get a refund for housing and meal plans, which were refunded with my school and other schools in my state. There's a CARES Act, which we're giving along with the distribution of our refunds. They pay back any money that was spent on school, like for when classes turned to online, whatever they had to repurchase or purchase further for the class. Rent for having to travel and get new house, gas, food, and was all paid back. Everything that they had to pay that they wouldn't have to pay for being on campus was paid back on the CARES Act. With me, I am the oldest child, which means I have and is expected to have a huge responsibility, and I did have to pay, like I said recently, for groceries. I bought some bathroom stuff. My living conditions are not how everybody else has it. That's the truth. Is the numbers skyrocketing legit? Well, many places try opening back up just a little. I feel they chose to uplift it to see how people would behave and how the numbers would be, and even see if people would behave, and how the numbers will go, and even see if people would even go out. Of course, that was no question to that. But then they come out and they say the cases have skyrocketed a day later of being off quarantine. And I believe it. And or it was a tactic to tell people there's no way we can stop being quarantined. This is the way it's going to be set. I don't really know. I feel like it's legit because the people that's going out have continued going out. They are the ones who were always out during quarantine, and now that quarantine is, they can go other places. So yes, I believe the numbers are legit, but only for that region, for that place, the number has skyrocketed when they up. But like I said, hospitals are misdiagnosing people on purpose. So you never know. Like, you just gotta trust your gut on stuff. You can't just read articles in the news and expect it to be the truth. So that's a personal question, meaning there's no right or wrong answer. That's how I feel. If the numbers are legit after quarantine has been lifted, are the southern states statistics legit? If I'm saying that wrong, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. So yeah. But they say the southern region of the US have the highest cases. I believe that to be false, but I would say that people are being hard-headed, and I would say not every case ends in death, which isn't implying you not to take it seriously. I would say not every case ends in death. So if they say a case, people automatically think, oh, now that's karma, yada yada. But understand that some people are asymptomatic. Not everybody has symptoms. And people that's getting infected are the people with the low percentage of even dying from this. It's the elderly, people with health conditions already, and the little kids. But I will say people are being hard-headed, and I will say that not every case ends in death. Some people are asymptomatic. Most people that are getting infected are the low percentage of being a high-risk case. It's the elderly and the little kids. And I feel like people are taking precautions that have high risk. It's the people who have low risk and they're just going bananas. There's so many videos of people who are in the towns where their quarantine was uplifted and they're just at clubs and bars, and people been having cookouts and gatherings during quarantine. So like I said, thinking numbers are legit, that's a personal thing. From your perspective, you can say it's legit or you can say they're not legit, especially based off all the misinformation and the false diagnosis. Like, it's just, this time is literally based off people's own experiences. Some people think this is a blessed time. God blessed us with this quarantine because their life was so stressful and so much was going on. They needed this quarantine. They need to stay home and do nothing, etc., etc. Like, it's not the case for everyone. There's been so many cases of domestic violence and abuse, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew that it was going to increase. I knew that some people weren't thinking about that. And it is good for some people. It is good. You got a blessing. That's great. That's something to be proud of. That's something to be grateful for, especially if your life was hectic before. But some people's lives are hectic with their homes. Not everyone has great homes. We shouldn't blame the mayors and governor because they felt they were doing something right. I feel like they felt like they were doing something right. And we should only blame those whose stupidity could have affected. It may have affected other lives. You still have to follow procedure and health guidelines when they uplift quarantine. You need to have your Lysol. You need to have your Germ-X, your wipes, your mask on. Some people wear gloves. I do not. I feel like gloves spread more germs than anything. And you can find so many pictures of people with the gloves on, holding their phone, touching multiple items that other people have to touch. You're taking those items home. You're putting them in bags. The bags are not affected. You're putting the bags in your car. You're going home. You unload everything. Everything such your counter, your couch, whatever you unload all your groceries on. Like, you have to Lysol everything. Everything has to be Lysol now because people with the gloves. And at these fast food restaurants, like, I'm ranting right now about the gloves. They have gloves on and then they touch your card and then they give you the card back after they just touched 15 other cards and they're holding your food, putting it in the bag with the gloves on, and now you're touching that the other people already touched. Like, I'm so thankful for the restaurant that have Germ-X and they're utilizing their Germ-X. That is great. I appreciate that. Thank you. I guess people with the gloves, thank you for protecting yourself. I hope you're healthy. Thank you for spreading the germs. Thank you. Continuing, I feel it's smart to open up slowly at a time with the same protocols. You just need to be more strict with it. My town has not been strict with curfew. Anyway, your opinions on that can also be stated on our Facebook page and our other social media platforms. Please let me know. If you're wearing gloves, let me know. If you're not wearing gloves, let me know. I use a lot of Germ-X, Lysol, and wipes. I don't have tons, but I have enough for me as an individual. Now, our next topic is quarantine hasn't stopped the act against African Americans or blacks, whichever one you prefer. There's so many applications out there that have either blacks or African Americans, so, I guess we saying both. Breonna Taylor, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. You can follow these hashtags. They're everywhere. They're out there now. I'm not really going to go long on this because it's more information is being brought up. More news is out there. This is a present thing, and I'm recording this on May 31st, so there could be more stuff out there. But I do know all 3 suspects have been arrested. Breonna's just been arrested not too long ago, like a couple days. I think yesterday. But there have been protests for all 3. Arbery had a running protest because he was the jogger. George protest is a little louder. It's out there. Businesses have been destroyed. Thing is, undercover police officers started that. White supremacists started that. There's video footage in the beginning of all of this. There are people undercover breaking things, pretending to be protesters, and spray painting things, talking about some free merchandise, talking about some break this, etc., etc. And they started the first couple of fires. The protesters were not doing none of that, and they're getting blamed for it. People are speaking out on this right now, saying the protesters did not start none of that where George Floyd was killed. Nobody did none of that. Half of everyone knew that there were undercover people out there. The other half did not know, and they felt like they probably thought that the other protesters did that, so they was like, okay, now we're doing this, let's do it. That's probably what they thought after all of that, and that's my opinion on that. That's my understanding on that. I do feel like Target got what they deserve, because how are you gonna not give customers, they're customers at this point, not gonna allow them to purchase milk? How are you gonna say they cannot buy any milk? How can you differ people from protesters to customers, even though the protesters were customers? They're going to buy it. Like, I don't understand. Undercover police is crazy, undercover white supremacists is crazy, etc., etc. Now there's rubber bullets getting shot at people, even bystanders. I'm not finna say innocent bystanders, because you're either a part of the protest or a bystander. You're going to the grocery stores, you're trying to get stuff before people destroy it or take it, your necessities. People are commenting saying, why are you out there? Why are you taking your children out there? So you want me to leave my 8-year-old, 5-year-old at home by themselves? Not everyone has a 2-parent home. Not everyone has siblings, older siblings. And we are quarantined. You can't just drop them off at their aunt or uncle house or grandmother house. Like, especially your grandmother house. She's high risk right now for corona, and you, like, I don't understand none of this. Like, it's all out there. It's on Facebook. The riots have spread. The riots now, but there also are protests out there. Just because you see people with signs in the street, they're not automatically rioters. They're protesting. Please learn the difference of riot and protest. More police recordings are coming out about other violent arrests. It's out there. T.I. on Instagram posted a lot of those. More news continues to come out. I say go to Twitter. That's the most recent of all social media platforms. Facebook is always late on news. So I would not, if you have Facebook, and that's the only thing you have, I really don't know what to tell you. Just to wait, I guess. But just know everything you see on Facebook is late news, unless it was directly posted by a primary source, like an actual person posting their experiences or something like that. But if it's secondary, I'm telling you, that post is probably days or hours late. I feel like Twitter is the most recent, along with Instagram, especially the Shade Room, even though the Shade Room do be late as well. And Twitter, just follow the hashtags, especially with Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and George Floyd, and so many others are out there. Like I said, other police recordings are coming out about other violent arrests, even ones that were kind of overshadowed. But this protest is about everyone. It's about the whole community. It's about everyone. I don't understand how Black Lives Matter is misunderstood. It's only ignorance, because so much information is out there. So many analogies are out there. But I do believe we are living in a time that should be in the history books. It probably won't, but it's only our responsibilities to pass them down to our children. If they don't put it in the history books, I won't be surprised. I won't be. But I feel like they would, because not really much besides Corona and protests are going on right now, and this is half the year. Half the year is about to be over in June. Any comments, opinions, and corrections you would like to share with the Social Outcast podcast, or continue some topics I discussed, then please head over to our Facebook page. But follow the guidelines when it comes to language. Derogatory terms will not be allowed at any race, at any person, any ethnicity, any of that. Also, other social media platforms are open. We have Twitter and Instagram. I do want to add to please take time off of social media. It's very draining and dark right now. I have to take 2 breaks. I took a break yesterday. I watched some TV, played some Sims, went to sleep. That's what I did yesterday. And today, I woke up on social media. We need to be strong mentally for everyone, not just African Americans. I'm speaking to everyone. We need to be strong mentally if we want to get through this and to overcome anything. Take a nap, watch some Hulu, Netflix, or whatever else to stay healthy and strong. Let me know how you're feeling, how you're taking all this in with quarantine, the protests, how it's affected you. Have you talked to your children? I do know Jordan Sparks on Instagram, she said she held her son and she cried. Now, I can see me doing that as a mom with anything happening Even if I saw any child like get hurt or something like that, I would feel that. I have strong empathy. Whatever situation happens, I can correlate my emotions to that. Even if I haven't been through that situation, I can feel that. I'm not being a sympathizer. There's a difference. Now, let me know how you're feeling though, on anything on all our platforms. But I would like to say thank you for listening to the whole podcast. This is my first episode, but thank you for listening to the whole thing. This is the Social Outcast podcast with Jazz V. Taylor.